Welcome again to our segment of the Wisdom Pick this week. And in this week, I am discussing something I believe will really interest you. Have you ever found yourself doing something that you really didn't like to do? Or have you ever been in a situation where there's this guy who you really didn't mean to be with him, but you end up eventually being with them? Have you ever found yourself in a situation that you ended up actually being in a place that you never thought you would ever be, or being with somebody that you never intentionally wanted to be with them, but over the time you realize that there were some things that it was propping you over, but you didn't realize it? Do you have this controlling boss who kind of snobs you, behaves like they don't really believe in you? They don't look like they really trust what you do. But eventually you realize that maybe when you exited or when you left the work, they are following you up and down because they really needed you in that workplace. Have you ever found yourself in such a situation that the opposite happens, and when you get to realize the true deal, you now wonder, and why in the first place did you behave like you never wanted it? Especially in relationships. Ladies, have you ever found out that there is this guy who behaved like he had nothing absolutely to do with you, but in real sense, he was admiring you at every corner? They will never even tell you you look good. They will never even tell you they admire you. But at the end of it all, you realize that they have been stalking you and following you. And now here you are. You are a victim of what we call reverse psychology. Reverse psychology is the art where somebody would want to influence your actions by behaving a complete opposite, to influence your emotions, to create some level of kind of feeling of autonomy or rebellion, which in actual fact produces an action that is desired on the other end. This happens oftenly around our workplaces, in relationships, and even sometimes with the controlling parents. And so I need you to understand so that you know how to behave and how to relate with such circumstances and situations before you get into a manipulative relationship. Now, this is the deal. What happens is that sometimes people will ignore you and people behave like they don't have any interest about anything that you're doing. But in real sense, some of them would want you to stop what you're doing. For instance, somebody would come and say, did I hear like you want to start ABCD business? And then you begin like, oh no, I don't think it will work there or stuff like that. But in real sense, somebody wants that if you stop doing what you are doing, they will get to do it exactly like that. I have a situation of somebody who realized somebody else was doing a certain business and it was kind of the same idea he had. And so they talked this person out. Like, this will never work and stuff like. And immediately this one checked out the same spot, actually same shop. The guy went out to do exactly what he told the other one to stop doing. This is what we are talking about. You got to be very careful in life because you will realize these people are all over, around every corner you make. The Bible talks about Jesus as coming to Samaria, and the Bible says he realized that the people there did not receive him. They behaved like they did not even understand him to be the Son of Man. And the Bible says the disciples were so worked up. They got so mad about the situation. How can these people snob our master? And the disciples said, let us call for fire to come down and consume them. This is the provocation that I'm talking about. That sometimes you get provoked to believe and to think that this is what these people mean in actual fact. But in real sense, they mean a completely opposite thing. So if you're not careful, you end up doing what they wanted you to do. And so they take an advantage over your situation. They take an advantage over your life. And you end up being where you never wanted to be, even in the first place. I urge you and I encourage you, you got first to believe in yourself. You got to be so sure of what you want to do. You got to be so real about your own self and about your attitudes, and be so confirmed and so strong about who you are, so that nobody manipulates you to think the opposite of what you are. When somebody makes you think you're not likable, you end up trying to be, to appease them and to, like appeal to them. And before you know it, you fall a play of what is the true opposite. Somebody wants to make you believe like you're not delivering in the workplace. The end result is that they want you to work equally harder. They want you to push yourself even further. But when you know that you're doing the right thing, even when people tend to talk you out of it, or when they want to push you beyond your ability, you still would not bow to that pressure, because you know, I'm doing all that I need to do. I'm doing my best in what I know how to, and keep moving and keep doing it. Don't bow to pressure. Some people have bowed down to such pressures and they have ended up devastated, frustrated. Some have ended up in relationships that they were never sure they wanted to be in them. And when you get to somebody who is manipulative, they will push you down the drain. You end up losing your own confidence, you end up losing your self-confidence, you end up losing your self-esteem and everything else about you, and you become a cabbage. And then the rest is history. You just be dragged up and down, and people abuse and misuse you. I have a word for you. Believe in yourself. Do what you believe you're wired to, and be nice at what you do. Stand firm. Be very careful and be on the lookout for these manipulative cycles, relationships, and reverse psychology will not happen with you. This is important. When people snub you, be firm enough. Be very assertive about your authority, about your position, and about your integrity. Sometimes people will question your actions with an intention to water down your ability and your strength. And if you fall prey of their maneuvers, you end up operating way below your ability of performance. When you know who you are, when you know what you're wired for, when you know what you are capable of doing, you will not fall prey of these manipulative ideologies and philosophies. Be real. Stand your ground. You are the best that the world can find. God bless you.